Yeah, I think we can go ahead.
Oh, there's Andrew now. Hello, Andrew. How are you? Andy Pandy?
Yeah.
Good.
Andy Pandy, Nancy and your Pansy.
All right, Mummy.
Hello,
Mummy, we're
Liam
all ready. Go
and-
ahead.
Liam and Anae and Maya. I can't see Finn and Emily and Carly and Ryan.
Yes.
Oh, there's Finn. Finn's just been pulled up by his head. Goodness me.
Oh, yes. There it is. Yes.
Okay, Mommy.
Well, don't speak about. Well, some people would like to know how we got Green Pastures.
Started.
Now, when we live in Northumberland Street beside the press, I don't know whether you grandchildren know that, but for 10 years we lived beside the press in a house. And they were all houses when we went. Ours was the first factory. So we were there for 10 years, and then several people wanted a business site. And they started to come to see if we would sell our house because it had business rights. And so we had visitors from overseas who were missionaries, Papa's cousin and her husband, and the children. And we went out one day, took them because there was such a lot of noise behind us one Saturday. We took them for a picnic. And we went to Durbanville because there was no houses hardly in Durbanville. It was just a big country place. We went away to Durbanville and we picnicked. Where did we picnic? You couldn't guess. In Decatur Avenue, where we went to live. We picnicked there, and your Papa said, wouldn't it be lovely if we lived here? And I said, well, we'll never live in this beautiful place. And anyhow, we were just there for the day, and we come home again. And then somebody really wanted our house.
Talking about Green Pastures now.
Yes.
How you got Green Pastures, not the Durbanville house.
Oh, yes, I see.
Yeah.
Anyhow, she's telling me I'm on the wrong line. Never mind, we'll get to that another night.
Yes, well, you told them about the house last time.
Anyhow, at our house, next door in Northumberland Street, there lived an old couple. And we nicknamed them Darby and Joan. And their name was Mr. and Mrs. Jagger. They were old. He must have been 90 then. Same age as Granny. Yeah. And his wife. And he married her. His wife had died many years ago, and he remarried for this woman to look after him. But instead of that, he had to look after her because she really wasn't 100% up here. Anyhow, we had cottage meetings in our house, and we invited all our neighbours in to come. And old Mr. and Mrs. Jagger came every Friday. And then they used to go away somewhere during the week, but we weren't nosy people. We didn't like to ask them. But one weekend it was very, very wet. And your Papa asked them, could he leave them home wherever they were going? And they had to walk a mile when they got off the bus to where Green Pastures is. That's where they lived. And the hut that they lived in is still there in Green Pastures grounds.
It was a shed.
It was a shed just.
What was it made of?
Where
corrugated
is that,
iron.
Where's the shed?
Right through, when you go to the far end of Green Pastures.
Yeah.
Drive in and it's behind the what used to be the staff quarters. I don't know what it is now.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The little shed, and it's made of corrugated iron where you would keep spades and rakes and garden tools.
He kept all his garden tools, and they slept there. And when we saw where they slept, Papa was very sorry for them. So he and a man called Johnny Brown got wood, and they lined half of the shed out. And we got them, one of the missionaries that was here from Angola, he bought a mattress for one of them, and we bought a mattress from the other one. so that they have a nice bed to sleep on. And then one day he said about green pastures of ground.
We used to take them Sunday lunch.
Oh yes, no, but that wasn't then. Anyhow, Mrs. Jagger, we felt very sorry for them because she couldn't cook. She was hopeless. And they kept their butter and everything just in an orange box, just a wooden box. That was no fridge, that's all they had. And of course, there was lots of cats and kittens around, which another man took all away. He got rid of them all because these cats, they were overrun with cats and kittens.
There were fleas in the shed.
Yes, plenty of fleas in the shed. We had to get rid of those too. The children will not understand what a flea is, only the grown-ups. Anyhow, we decided that they got nice beds and we fixed them all up. And then we used to fetch them for the Friday night meeting every Friday, and then we left them out either afterwards or else we left them out on Sunday or Monday. And then we decided we would give them a dinner every Sunday because she couldn't cook and we don't know what they ate. But when we cleaned the place out, behind her bed, there was hundreds and hundreds of sweet papers. That's what she ate all the time. But anyhow, old Mr. Jagger then decided that he would like an old age home at Green Pastures. And that's how Green Pastures came about. We got it signed over to the people who hold it in trust. And then it was a few years later, the old man wanted to see something done. So your papa was the means of getting Green Pastures Old Age Home built. And it's still there today. So all that was going to tell them about.
So they had a little shed on this big property.
Oh, yes.
But they didn't have a lot themselves, but they wanted to give that property for,
yes, well,
for Christian old people to have a place to stay.
So that's where Green Pastures came from. And this old couple, I